Hello readers, it is that time once again for me to give you guys a book review. My name's Jem, and I'm here to give you a book review on The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes by Soman Chainani. So this is the second book of the School for Good and Evil series. Well, it's going to be a trilogy as far as I know. And I read the first book like maybe a year ago, maybe a whole year and a half, and I had just recently bought both books because I really love the artwork, and I took my time to reread the first book so I could get caught up with the second one. And I don't regret it at all. I love the books. I rate this an 8.5 out of 10. I really loved it. Especially since I was reading... What did I read? I read something before this. Oh, I read The Darkest Minds before this, being all depressing, and I wanted something not too depressing, but yet still, like, brighten up my day. And I really loved A World Without Princes. So, let me go on with the synopsis and talk about the book. In the epic sequel to the New York Times bestselling novel, The School for Good and Evil, Sophie and Agatha are home, living out their ever after. But life isn't quite the fairy tale they expected. When Agatha secretly wishes she'd chosen a different happy ending, she reopens the gates to the School for Good and Evil. But the world she and Sophie once knew has changed. Witches and princesses, warlocks and princes are no longer enemies. New bonds are forming, old bonds are being shattered. But underneath this uneasy arrangement, a war is brewing and a dangerous enemy arises. As Agatha and Sophie battle to restore peace, an unexpected threat could destroy everything and everyone they love. And this time, it comes from within. Soman Chainani has created a spectacular world that Newbery Honor-winning author Anne M. Martin calls a fairy tale like no other, complete with romance, magic, and humor that will keep you turning pages until the end. Okay, so in this book, it leaves right where it left off, sort of. It is a whole year later from the last book. In The School for Good and Evil, it starts, I would say, around school time. So I'm going to say around September. And they had been at the school for 3 months, like all the way up to December and the winter ball and stuff, before they went home. So around 3-4 months. And in this one, it's a whole year after the day of their kidnapping. So, again, it's next September. So they just lived through a whole 2-3 seasons, and now we've come back to September. Anyway, that's how I saw it as. Like, they began in September and went down to December. Totally irrelevant. So it's a whole year after their kidnapping, and they've become really famous in Gavaldon. And Sophie and Agatha have been really busy with the fame of breaking the curse. But then things start to get a little crazy. So Agatha kind of wishes that she had chosen a different happy ending. One with Tedros instead of Sophie. Yet she knows the one with Sophie is right. And so her wish leads for their storybook, The Tale of Agatha and Sophie, to open up again. And so they end up going back to the School for Good and Evil. And also in this book, they look a little bit more at Stefan, who is Sophie's father, and what happened to Sophie's mother, and apparently Stefan is remarrying this woman, Honora, which is what leads to another wish that Sophie makes, and she wants to see her mother again. She'd do anything for it, while Agatha wants to have a different happy ending. She wishes for a different happy ending. And so the village starts getting attacked, and they want Sophie, the witch of the woods beyond. And she was given up to the woods by the elders and Agatha follows, and they end up at the School for Good and Evil, which isn't the School for Good and Evil anymore. It's the School for Girls and Boys. Because of what Agatha and Sophie had done the previous year, with Agatha kissing Sophie and choosing her and going home with her, the magic of the schools, like, separated, boys and girls. History was remade about, like, girls, like, there's a lot of strong, empowering feminism in this book. About girls not needing princes, that they can, like, just be by themselves and with the witches, and friendship over love and men, which is, like, I really don't understand why they just couldn't have both a true love, yet a whole, like, a friend to have, instead of just having to choose one. Honestly, that would be the most ideal thing. But no, since it's a book, and this is sort of real life, has to have conflicts. And so while that's happening, the Storian has been taken, and by Tedros, he becomes the new schoolmaster, and, well, that doesn't really last all that long. But a lot of things happen. I'm not going to spoil the book. A lot of things happen in this book that leaves you, like, in surprise, well, not really surprised. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe she did that, or really that just happened. And then there are just parts where it's, like, just humorous, and then you can laugh at it. But it took me a while to read the book because I was distracted with schoolwork. It was a good book, but the ending, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but the ending made me feel like I need to have the next book. Honestly, I really need the next book. That's how I felt. And I didn't have a book for the rest of the day because I finished this early in the morning at school, and I didn't have a book for the rest of the day, and I was sad. So, as far as that goes, it's just Sophie and Agatha are trying to get back the story, and right there at the end, their happy ending, they have to wish for each other, like, strongly wish for each other, and they'll be able to go home to Gavaldon and be done with the storybook forever and ever. And that's their entire mission in this book is. And I honestly cannot wait for the last book, The School for Good and Evil, The Last Ever After, I believe it's called. And it's releasing on my birthday, so I really want the next book to come out. And that's all I really got to say, an 8.5 out of 10. The next book I'm going to be reading will be Kristen Lindsay Hager's sequel to True Colors. I think it was Best Friends ... Forever ? I think that's what the book was called, if I remember correctly. If not, you'll see it on my next book review. Anyway, you guys know that I really liked the first book. It was amazing. I loved it. And I'm going to love the sequel because I am a character in the book. Look out for my name, Gem Juliet Jules Jade, or maybe they shortened it down to Gem Jade, because Kristen doesn't really know, because she typed out my entire name, Gem Juliet Jules Jade, but she thinks that the publisher might have shortened it down to Gem Jade, so look for that. And that's me in the book. And I'm really excited to read this. Apparently, I'm going to be continuing on in the series. And I'm very, very excited to read this book. And then see my name in it in a legit book. And I'm going to fangirl so much. So there's that to look forward to. Apparently, the book has already released on Amazon. But not sure about other websites because something happened. Astria Press is no longer Astria Press, which is the publishing company that most of my ebooks that I promote for authors comes from. So it's not called Astria Press anymore. I'm not sure what they've changed their name to. Plus, there's a whole lot of authors, so a lot of things got mixed up. And so, at least it was released on Amazon right now. It is available. You can go out and check it. You can go and check it out. Kristen Lindsay Hager. You can go to my channel and find the first book review, True Colors, before you read the next book, if you would so like. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. That is the next book I will be reading. Like, it is confirmed. It is set in stone, because sometimes I tell you guys I'm going to read something, but I end up not reading it and choosing a different book. So, but this one will be set in stone. Alright? So I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye!